Hey everybody, it's Joe with Joe Knows Cryptos. And so let's see here. You probably have heard by now, but if you haven't, the um, Bakkt deal that was supposed to go through on December 12th has now been pushed back another month to January. Now, is this a cause and effect of the market, or is it effect and cause? And what I mean by that is, did people know that this Bakkt deal was going to get pushed back? And is that the reason for the sell-off? Have to contribute to it? Did some of the big insiders know about that? Or is it because the market tanked so badly that Bakkt is delaying their startup on December 12th? Their excuse is that they're not quite ready to have everything in place properly to make it run smoothly or whatever. But, I very highly doubt they would have given a date, especially when the beginning of this month they were supposed to give an update and everything looked like it was fine for the December 12th startup. So one or the other happened. Either people found out about the insiders, and there was a big sell-off on top of the Bitcoin Cash fiasco, and God knows what else, or the other way around. So, again, today, stock market down huge. Cryptocurrency not gaining back any of the lost ground that it lost this week, really. Just kind of flatlining it out. The only silver, gold, down as well. This is getting a little bit concerning, I have to say. Not time to panic yet, but people just be prepared for the worst. All right, and I don't want to make anyone panic, and I don't want to sound like one of these doomsday type of people because I don't want to do that. Things do correct, but it's just kind of odd that everything's correcting, and the only place where money is going into is bonds. And bonds, if anyone knows, bonds don't pay much. Yeah, they're safe, but if the dollar loses value like it's been, then you're actually going to lose money due to inflation in bonds as well. So, yeah, that's still. Let's keep an eye on it again tomorrow, and then the markets are going to be closed for Thanksgiving. Well, not the cryptocurrency, but the stock market. But people might be afraid that something's going to pop off here over the Thanksgiving Day weekend, and just don't want to have their money tied up and not be able to get to it. I don't know. I just got a weird feeling. You ever get one of those like just weird feelings about intuition, like somebody's watching you, and then you turn around and somebody's looking at you, or like one of those, or you look up from where you're eating or reading or working or whatever, and somebody's looking at you. You can kind of get that intuition. And it's not foolproof, but I'm kind of getting that feeling. Is anybody else getting that feeling? If you are, please comment below. I'd like to get everyone's opinion on everything that's going on here. Very shocked that commodities are not going up, except for maybe oil's up a little bit, but not much. But that silver and gold, usually when the markets go down like this, they bounce a bit upward, and they're actually down. So this is why I'm concerned. And this is, multiple days in a row now that this has happened. So that's my thoughts on that. Gosh, there's more good news coming out on cryptocurrencies, and now it looks like it's all being pushed back into the beginning of next year. So here's the deal. We have the Fed meeting in December to decide if there's going to be another interest rate hike. If there is an interest rate hike, then you can pretty much imagine that the stock market is going to go down again. This could be people anticipating that there's going to be an interest rate increase, and this could be what part of the sell-off is as well. So that's rational, and a lot of people know that this market is overinflated, it's overbought. When it first made the correction earlier this month, it actually went down because there's some type of a law in place where from up to was it October, like the second half of October, that companies were only allowed to reinvest a certain percentage of money back into their stock. And that's when the market started to plunge. When the companies couldn't keep buying back their own shares to keep the price inflated, that's when the market started to tank. At the end of October, that cycle ended and they were able to start putting money back into their companies, and that's when you saw the stock market start to go back up. But now again this week we're seeing it go down. We're seeing a lot of instability. Where we used to see a lot of upward momentum, it was just up, 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 up for the last 10 years. People have not seen these big 400 or 500 point drops in a day or in multiple days in a row. This is going to start freaking people out as well. So I'm going to start playing on the cautious side. I do invest some of my mother's money because she's older and I don't have her in anything too risky, but I think I'm personally either going to put her in that DXD or I'm going to take some of her money out of the market because I just do not like the way that it's acting. As far as cryptocurrencies go, I really don't know what's going to happen from now until the beginning of or mid-January. I think when Bakkt does go through and this other, was it Goldman Sachs exchange, I think? I can't remember right now, they're both big events, big money, income, market cap money flowing into cryptocurrencies that supposedly are going to happen in January. If those happen, they should bring the prices up. And just like I said, we should see Bitcoin at blah, 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 this price, 20,000, 40,000 by the end of the year, barring something weird happening or a market crash. Well, to me, this is something weird that's happening because it's really kind of unexplainable. The best explanations is a whole Roger Ver, Bitcoin Cash, and now Bitcoin ABC and Bitcoin SV, that these two guys own a lot of Bitcoin and they're willing to sell it so they have money to invest back into each one of their Bitcoin, ABC and Bitcoin VR. And, that could be driving the price down, but it's still a lot going on here. So I know not a whole lot of information except for the Bakkt thing, which is actually huge negative information. But the good news is that it's not canceled, it's just been delayed. So I think we're just going to have to ride out the storm and, not financial advice. I'm personally just going to ride out the storm here until January. And, when I have opportunities to purchase, when I have disposable income, I'm just going to keep throwing it into cryptocurrencies because to me, this is I shouldn't say once in a lifetime because you never know what other opportunities you're going to have. But the type of opportunity that cryptocurrencies offer you to become wealthy is hard to find in other places, to become wealthy in a short amount of time. And maybe it's one of these things that is too good to be true. Usually things that are too good to be true fall apart, and that's kind of what the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market has done this year. I know traditionally it does go up and then it has big corrections, and that's kind of the norm for cryptocurrencies. You have to have kind of a thick skin, and almost like I said in the last video, just have blinders on like the horses do, and just look for your future goal. Like you want to look out 2 years till 2021 or till your coins hit a a certain price and you're not even going to worry about the market until, a certain date or market cap or price for your coins that you have in mind. And if they fluctuate up and down, you're not even going to worry about it. You just have to have a thick skin and just almost ignore the market, even though it's hard to do, because if you're like me, I know you look at your cryptocurrencies every day to see what they're doing, because they can be very explosive and they can be also on the negative side explosive. So volatile, volatile, volatile. Guys, I love y'all. Hang in there, Just keep watching both of these markets. If we keep seeing these big downward turns, the stock market may correct for a day or two, but then if we see it drop down again, personally, I would start to get some provisions ready, get some cash ready, have some cash set to the side, in case there's a run on the banks or something and they, it's happened in the past. Not saying that it's going to happen, but it's always better to be safe than sorry, because if the worst case scenario does happen and you are prepared, then that's wonderful. And if the worst case scenario happens and you're not prepared, then you're in for a real hard time. So if you can have some cash, put away, where you, not in the bank put away, but in your physical possession, some extra food, and unfortunately a weapon, just in case things get really crazy and for a few weeks it's dangerous to leave your house or to leave it unprotected or leave yourself unprotected, especially if you have something that you think other people may want, or desperate times, people become desperate, they do desperate things. So again, I don't want to sound like one of these end of the world type of people, because it's not the end of the world, and it wouldn't be the end of the world if there was a major collapse, but it would bring a lot of hardship on a lot of people, and I just would hate to see anybody that doesn't need to be put in a bad spot. So just keep an eye on it, ear to the ground, ear to the ground, and ear to the train track, and talk to your friends and get a feel for what other people are commenting about and what other people are chatting about, and what the government situation is, what the chatter is as far as political. It's you may not be really into politics or news, but just remember, 90% of what you hear on the media, from Fox News, from CNN, from MSN, ABC, it's 90% either exaggerated, or they're leaving out the most important parts, or they're not even talking about the issues that they should be talking about. They're focusing on the issues that their bosses, who are the ones who pretty much rule everything, run everything, tell them to talk about. And if they don't talk about it, they're fired, they lose their job. They bring in another one of thousands of people waiting to get their chance at a career on TV. All right? So just remember that. Keep that in mind. Some of what they say is true, some of what they say is false, but the biggest thing is that they don't tell us at all. They don't even talk about the things that are the most important. So don't be afraid to search YouTube for some alternative news, even though I know YouTube has been eliminating thousands of independent news channels. So do your best, guys. God bless. I love you. Hug and kiss your wife. Hug your kids, pet your pets. Keep your family close. If you don't believe in God, that's your decision. I do. I continue to pray for the country and for all my friends and family, and for everybody. Even pray for my enemies. So guys, God bless. Joe Knows Crypto signing off.